Playing games, rules of modern dating and understanding women, it's complicated. Yet another video that we're going to watch by the It's Complicated channel, added just a day ago from Las Vegas, from the city where the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. And I could talk more about it, but without further ado, let's go into this reaction.
If you had to wear your body count on a jersey, would you be a quarterback, kicker, or defensive player?
Oh, I'd be a defensive player.
Why?
It's complicated.
Kicker's numbers are low and the quarterback's numbers are low, and I'd probably be more fitting with the defensive players.
I'll be a kicker because I kick her out.
Quarterback, I guess.
Why?
Because quarterbacks get in and they get out real quick. I don't know.
I'd be Nick Bosa.
I'd be Nick Bosa.
When it comes to dating, are men forced to play the game or be on the bench?
Forced to play the game.
100% forced to play the game.
How does a guy get from the friend zone to the end zone?
Right here.
Why is it when a guy gets laid, we say that he scored?
Because he went all the way.
Why? Because it's all a win for
Because
the
he
man.
played the game.
Which of the following statements do you think is more true? A man's ideal woman is a bro in the body of a hot chick, or a woman's ideal man is a woman in the body of a handsome man?
Oh, the first one, a bro in the body. Yeah, like seriously. Like my guy and I, like I'm a fucking football chick. I'm a total sports nut, so I'm more like a bro for sure.
It's my boy right here. He's a woman in the body of a handsome man.
Isn't one a tomboy while the other's a gay man?
Absolutely.
Isn't one a tomboy while the other's a gay man?
Yes.
If women want men to connect with them on a deeper level than just sex, why don't more women take interest in male hobbies like sports and video games rather than fashion and pop culture?
Because they got that, oh.
Because women are still old school, and so we are the prize, and so they feel like men have to still chase after them.
I think the best women take more interest in sports and video games, and it's the best sex.
We 100% do taking it.
The best are actually those who take care of both. Hey, hi, FNAF Maker 1232. What's up? I might even put your comment on. Sorry, didn't spot it earlier. Yeah, go follow me on Twitch and on YouTube. Woo! Oh, that was actually recently, so I did spot it.
In anything that is sports related, whether it be
100%.
men or women.
And then why can't men do the same thing? Why can't they sew and knit and come sit with us and watch the TV? My mother.
Because it's boring what you watch. And I know a lot of women, really, I know a lot of women who just love to rewatch a show for like 167 times. I genuinely do not understand. Like, ask every single woman who has watched Friends once, will probably rewatch it for another 55 times, which is weird. I never got it. Like, is there going to be a new story? Maybe some kind of backflip. Okay, sometimes I do get rewatching it the second time because you want to spot some different details. Maybe a third time when you're introducing someone to it. But other than that, it already starts to get weird.
Was in a football pool growing up. So every night she'd call in her picks. So I kind of picked that up.
Why are the men who sit around all day playing video games or watching porn?
To be fair, my family, even the men and the women, we play in we have like a family tournament about predicting football games. So it's always an advantage to know something from sport. I'm telling you, even from like women's sports. Like, also what I thought about now, one of the reasons why a lot of women should probably take interest into sports is because how popular it is among the world. So to say, if there are a lot of stuff that women get into that is just not super popular amongst men, but there's way more women that do sports, if you see what I mean.
Seen as less productive than the men who sit around all day watching sports.
Oh, that is a great question. I would say they're more productive. They just have more dexterity in their hands.
Football makes you look more like a man and brute and strong, whereas porn makes you look like a pervert.
Ugh, God, it's just so lame. Like, stop playing the video games. Let's go to a football game.
Why do people watch men's sports more than women's, including the women themselves?
Because male athletes are superior.
It's
Oh,
common
why
knowledge.
would you watch male athletes? Okay, now I got it. The reason why, and the only reason why people would rather watch a lot of male sports compared to female is basically because of the speed. I remember I once tried to give women's football a chance. I turned on to watch a Champions League game. It was a football Champions League game. There was a Ukrainian team playing against the women's Real Madrid team. And I turned on in like the middle of the second half, and the Ukrainian girl was actually like doing good. So she dribbled past her, she threw the ball like forward. I was like, yes, let's go. Like you already won the distance. You can now like outspeed her. I swear I will never forget how slowly she ran. And I'm not trying to be discriminative to anyone. Seriously. But I really couldn't understand. Like, am I watching on 0.75? It was so slow that I think I turned off in 3 to 4 minutes. Basketball, I could still watch. That's a fun thing. I think because it's less territory that they have to cover, so you don't really outspot that huge of a difference. But even when you play against women, you can really feel it.
Knowledge that the NBA earns far more money than the WNBA. Do you think they should receive equal pay?
Hell no.
Why?
Because they don't bring in the same revenue. They're not bringing in as many viewers, as much money.
I mean, there has been a study even at the Women's Football World Cup where the women players actually get paid more from the World Cup in percentage compared to the men, if we talk about percentage taken from the revenue.
As much endorsement deals.
To be fair, my stepdad did tell me WNBA is more popular in other countries than the U.S.
A lot of the sports players, they get paid an exorbitant amount. So I think that money should be shared more equally and spread out to people who need it.
Part of it.
Again, coming back to the people who need it, I'm not talking specifically about that woman. But there's okay, no, wait, let's start it over again. A Super Bowl ticket, I think the cheapest one is like $7,000, or it's definitely a couple $1,000, and the stadium is full every single year. And this year's Super Bowl overpassed in TV broadcast inside the United States. It outpassed the 1969 moon landing. So, if everyone is willing to pay for that, the players should probably receive the management, etc. That's the reason they receive so much money, because the people are willing to pay for it. They are willing to pay tons of it. Why? Well, because people like being entertained. Really, that is the whole reason. That is why when life is good, when you finish your job and you have really no huge worries, you want to get yourself entertained. And sports is probably the most popular entertainment in the world. So that is why a lot of these athletes earn millions and millions a year, because they bring billions.
It's because there's more teams in the NBA. That's also because there's a lot more in the media rights side of things. NBA owns both, so they absolutely could. That said, it's probably not going to make shareholders happy. So until the shareholders are happy and actually could do it, or go to more of like a tennis model, then it's probably not going to happen.
If they were at the same level, I think the WNBA needs to become more hype and get out there and get more endorsements. So I'm hoping that they have equal opportunity to do that, so they can be just as popular as the NBA.
Yeah, all WNBA really needs is just getting more popular. So they don't need to get paid more. They just need to bring in more viewers. And I remembered recently there was this idea pushed to make WNBA more entertained, make them lower the baskets, not putting 305. There was this suggestion to make them at least 280 so that women could dunk as well. So there would be more three pointers. Like the only reason people even invented the 3 point line is to make the game more interesting, is so that people would watch longer. Like, so it would cut. For example, it's a 3 point game now. It's a one possession game. So the attention is still there, which means he's going to pay for the money, which means you can put an advertisement of a toothpaste in it because 10 people are going to watch it. 5 of them are going to go to the shopping mall. 2 of them are going to pick the toothpaste and are going to pay for it. That's the only reason. This is how the market functions. It's always going to be about the money. The only thing I don't understand is how did we get from the rules of modern dating to sports business and money, but I really like this subject, so I don't mind.
Why should we have equal pay? Why don't we judge that purely off of competition?
Well, I mean, you have a point. I think that people should be getting paid for their performance and how good they are at what they do.
Exactly. That is what they're getting paid for. Their performance brings less people than the performance of, let's say, LeBron James or Stephen Curry.
But I don't think that it should be based on gender.
What are your thoughts on the
Yeah,
X
that's
League
true.
having women play football in lingerie? Are these women being objectified?
I would think that they were being objectified, but at the same time, that's what a lot of males want to see these days.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, I myself am a bikini and lingerie model. I'm a Maxim cover girl. So I think that, it's kind of cool. It's empowering if they feel that that's what they want to do.
I genuinely don't see what is empowering about it, but I'm not creating sometimes for these speeches.
I mean, if the woman consent, I can't say nothing about that. It's not like, as long as they're not forced to do it, I don't care.
Why will women admit that men are physically stronger when they want protection while also thinking that biological men should compete in women's sports?
I do not.
Because they want to push their agenda in the way that suits them the best. Half of his questions could be answered in this way, but I get why he's doing this. This is his content. So let's listen to this man.
Not understand that at all.
I struggle with that because even though that person is identifying as women, their makeup is still as a man, like their bone structure. You cannot change your bone structure.
Yeah.
So I feel like there should be even another category outside of male and female. It should be like a whole nother gender category for those type of sports.
If feminism is such a strong political movement, why don't they complain about transgenders dominating women's sports?
Yeah, this is a thing I will never. I genuinely don't understand. This should be their soup. This should be their general soup. They have these problems, the ingredients, and when they mash it all around, it's a soup that they should be boiling around and pushing you to eat it, like feed it to you, show it that it's a problem. It's a problem that we have to solve somehow. But they are just quiet. And it's usually the other people who talk about this problem. And I don't understand it. And luckily, I genuinely am lucky that I haven't had the need to think about this yet, because I have a lot of other problems that I would rather be fixing.
It's a great question. I don't think that should be allowed at all. I don't think a man should be allowed to compete in a women's sport. But I say if a woman wants to, let them try.
I mean, again, if you think about it, you don't even need to take like big sports. Chess is a sport that has mixed tournaments. Formula One is a mixed tournament sport, and yet men still outcompete women. Even in those spheres where you don't simply rely on pure biology. Well, though on chess you do, because it's the thinking. But even there, men outcompete women. I'm not saying that everyone. I'm not saying that all the men are better than all the women in chess. No. But I'm saying if you take the best man player, the best women's player, the best man player will probably win. Let's give him. I mean, I don't know the stats, but at least I would guarantee he'll win at least 8 games or even 9.
That it's only men competing in women's sports, but never women competing in the men's sports.
Oh, that is because they wouldn't get dominated on.
Would you let your daughter compete against a transgender woman in MMA or boxing?
No, not a chance, because she'd get pummeled.
If she a bodybuilder, I mean, you see, there's actual woman bodybuilders, so yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest it, but if that's what she wants to do, I would allow it.
There's all this.
I don't want to get bad, but this is like the difference between the white mom and the white dad. Like the white dad is hell nah. You don't dare come to my girl. You step 1 foot closer and I'm going on that ring. When the black mother's like, well, I mean, if she wants to get smashed by a dude, let it be.
Let's talk about creating a more fair and equitable society. What determines in life what should be a competition and what should have equal outcomes?
What determines in life what should be a competition, what should have equal outcome?
A competition should be the end goal. The equality should be the chances to reach that goal. So every man or woman should have a chance to play basketball, and their competition should be them getting to the goal of bringing in more viewers, because all that basketball players do, all that any athletes actually do, is bring in viewers. They're entertainers, so they need people to watch them. Therefore, the competition should be in who is going to bring more. Whereas equality should be probably in the chances. So everyone, if a woman wants to start playing basketball, she should have the same opportunities to do it as a man to start. So again, equality is in the beginner level, but everything that goes from there, you're on your own, people.
I suppose whatever is a competition and what isn't, right? If I'm competing for a job, it's a competition. If I'm competing against my peers for a promotion, it's a competition. So,
should there be equal outcomes in sports?
No, there would never be equal outcomes in sports.
Again, like let's take his example with the job. So the competition, so to say, 2 spots, right? 2 spots. Probably if you're picking between them two, who is going to get it first, the beginner stage should probably be equally fair for most of them. Like, yeah, so going from second partner to first partner. So let's say in order to go to first partner, they should all at least go through being second partner. Now how do they perform as a second partner? If they say, for example, there's a man and a woman, and a man stays an extra hour for work because, I don't know, he doesn't have to take care of a family, well, you shouldn't create equalities inside here. That's the competition. Although this example does require a bigger investigation, I should probably write a term paper on it for my university. Yeah, that would sound cool. What is competition compared to where should be competition, where should be equality? I should write it down.
Sports, because you're competing for an outcome.
So then why do we pick and choose?
Why do we pick and choose what?
When we have competition and when we have equality.
That's a good question. I don't know. Good question.
What's the difference between a football coach and a dating coach?
I never understood the thing about dating coaches, actually. But probably the difference is in what they coach. A football coach trains to play football. Dating coach trains to date.
That dating coach ain't gonna win nothing.
Football coaches are like, get out there and play, baby. And dating coaches are like, get out there and play, baby.
Why does a guy have to be coached on how to pick up women, but he doesn't have to be coached on how to make friends?
Because women are much more selective than men are.
Why do we keep coaching men to play a game we all know is rigged?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because some men do trust that it's not, and they think that if they pay a decent amount of money, they're going to discover these big secrets of how to win the game. Where at the end of the day, there's no 100% guaranteed chance. There's not even actually a 70% guaranteed chance.
I don't think it's rigged.
It's not rigged.
What does it mean to have game?
Spit Riz.
What's the difference between the dating game, having game, and playing games? And why do we use the same word for all three things?
It's just too hard, man.
Because it's all a game.
If you got game, it comes to you natural. Don't do nothing. They're there. If you're playing the game,
you're faking it.
You're trying to run it on them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
as far as see what you can get out of them.
Yeah.
And as far as what was the next one?
What are your thoughts on the following expression? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Oh, I think you should hate the player too.
They're equally responsible.
Why do guys say they want good girls but are attracted to sluts, while girls say they want good guys but are attracted to players?
Because they're lying inside their heads. Because they can't even be honest with themselves. And that's why they fail in life, and they fail in love, and they eventually break up. And then they post these sad stories that, oh, I'm so single. And then they go on St. Valentine's and write a post. You should love yourself, first of all. That's what St. Valentine's Day should be about. Yeah. Empowerment. Think with your head.
That's a great question. I'm not attracted to sluts, so I don't know.
Honestly, I think it's just the way they look. If they're handsome or pretty to them, that's what they're distracted by.
And then media shows that as being popular and stuff, but I think the person really doesn't know who their true self is.
A lot of people want what they can't have or what they don't need.
And so that's why they want the opposite of what they say they want, because they don't really know who they are.
Do you think women want men to understand them better?
Yes.
Yes, everyone.
What's the difference between understanding women versus analyzing women's behavior?
Nothing.
Connect with them on a more emotional level.
Isn't one more empathetic and the other strategic?
It's all a strategy.
Is it wrong to be strategic when it's called a dating game?
Play chess, not checkers.
If I analyze their behavior, it's because I'm trying to get to know them better.
But I mean, you should walk around in life strategic. It's like, if you just walk around in life and expect that everything is bubbles and it's going to somehow be, well, then you're gonna get the income. Like, if you're not willing to make the choice, someone else is going to make it for you, and it might end up well. Who knows? But it's not going to be your choice, and you're not going to affect it. You won't be able to affect it.
Still empathy.
Is it wrong to be strategic when it's called the dating game?
Just because you call it a game doesn't mean you should just focus on strategy.
That is also a nice quote at the end. So, on this beautiful note, today we're going to close out this stream. And moral of the reaction: be honest to yourself and to the person you love. Guys, this was zynoVII7 giving you free YouTube reactions today. I need to go to bed because I have an early morning tomorrow that I should be prepared for. And if you're watching this at night, I'm also suggesting you do the same. But before you do that, you have to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I hope that by the time you're watching this reaction, we're already at number 50. But let's not stop there, let's scale it. Let's, so to say, try to hit 3 figures probably. In any case, yet again, zynoVII7, and I thank you for watching this reaction, no matter if you did it live, on the stream replay, or on the reaction video itself. Be prepared, and I'll see you soon. Woo!